Yes, let's start today's session. So in the last session, we were discuss about just how to create. Yes, in the last session, we just create a simple API. How to create simple API using using class-based view. Okay, let me open in the last session what I did just in my documentation so that you'll understand clearly. So what I did here, okay. So Django framework third session material, this is documentation which I discussed in the last session. I prepared here. Now you can see to create an API in the last session I created Django project through command prompt. Okay, Django application through command prompt. So now today I'm going to show you a different way to create a project and to create application directly without passing any commands using command prompt directly. When we have to go to PyCharm editor, there we have to directly select the options like wizard mode. I'm going to show you how to create a project, how to create an application. Now observe here, I create a simple model class here, and here I have mentioned this my records, every record with the name called ename only in Django admin panel. And after that, I have registered my model into admin.py. If you want to see your database table in admin panel, this is one type of registration. Now today, completely different types I'm going to show you. Same API, so I'm going to show you in different styles. Now I just make migrations and migrate, create super user, and have run server. And after that, I just converted into uh, Django model into JSON format by using serializers.py file. But look at here, in this serializers.py, I have created a serializer class. Okay, serializer class. And after that, in views.py, I have created view. This view is what view, this is this is class-based view it is. What view it is? Class-based view. But now today I'm going to show you with function-based view. So how to create an API using function-based view I'm going to show you today. Okay, but some different options I'm going to show you today. So completely different. Main topic is same, but operations are completely different. So I'm going to show you in different way today what things I'm going to show you. Let me show you first. Before going to start creating project, I want to tell you one thing. Okay, so in Django REST framework mainly, yes, this question you're asking class-based view. Yeah, that's what. This topics already be covered in Django. Okay, in Django. So that's what if you know Django, then I recommend to attend REST API classes already I said. So for my Django students, they know very well class-based view and function-based view. Simple. Class-based view is having internally a get function and post function is there. That function through we have to handle your request and response. But function-based view, there is no get and post methods. Only you have to write if condition. If request dot method equal to post, whenever you post the data to the server, what action you want you have to run, you have to perform in that. Otherwise, else part, it is get method automatically. You have to write code what happened, what should happen when your method is get method. Okay, both we can use function based view as well as class based view. So many examples I have shown in my Django sessions. Okay, so hope you understand. So any view you can use class based view, function based view, but I'm showing clear differences here. That's what. So I have created in the last session one API using class based view. Now I'm going to introduce function based view through how to create API. Okay, but some different style I'm going to maintain. What is the difference? We will observe it. So last class and this class you can observe the difference. But before going to create a project, what I'm trying to show you here, so serializers concept is very important here. What concept here? Serializers concept is important. So serializers allow complex data such as query sets and model instances to be converted to the native Python data types that can be easily rendered into JSON or XML or other content type. Okay, so what is serializers here? So let me increase the font size for clear visibility more. Now you can see here serializers, serializers, serializers allow, serializers allow complex data. Complex data means such as query set. Yes, Django query set or model model instance. Model instance means your database table object model instance to be converted to native Python data types, to be converted to native Python data types that can be easily rendered into JSON, that can be easily easily rendered into JSON or XML. We can say JSON or XML or other content types, other content types, other content types. So this definition I'm not going to create at all. Okay, clear definition as it is. I'm saying that which is coming from official website. Okay, if you want to see this definition, where I can found, where I got this definition, if you want to know that, simply go to Google. Nothing to do here. Okay, so now we can see I'm going to Google serialization in Django REST framework. I'm typing serialization in Django REST framework. Now we can see official website www.django-rest-framework.org. Click on this link. Click on this link. Now you can see Django REST framework. So every content is available here only. Now whatever I have written the definition, you can see this. Serializers allow complex data such as query set and model instances to be converted into native Python data types that can be easily rendered into JSON or other content types. Where is this definition? Now you can see. Where is this definition? Look at here. Serializers allow complex data such as query sets as model instances to be converted in Python native data types, easily rendered into JSON or XML other content types. Understand? So where is the definition? Here only, please. This is only I'm saying. Clear documentation is there. This is the one of the advantage of REST framework. Even I didn't create any definition as my own. Just I'm following this Django REST framework official documentation. Yes. So this is the definition they are giving. Just I'm showing to you people because you also understand clearly where is the official documentation. If whenever you have any doubts, you have to visit this official website and clarify your doubts furtherly here. Okay, this is completely serialization and deserialization objects and everything validations. Or everything is available in official documentation. What is that official websites are here? So django-rest-framework.org. So this is the definition of serialization. But don't look that as it is definition, as we need not to concentrate on definitions as it is. Just I am showing that. Why I am writing this definition means for you I have to show where I have received this definition from which website. You must and should aware of that. Okay. So what is serialization? I am telling in my own way. Serialization concept is nothing but converting your model database, like model model objects means your database records into Python understandable format or Python data types like dictionary. Yes, Python dictionary. And query set means what? Yes, query set means collection of records. Model instance means database records. So these records will be converted into your Python data types. That is called serialization. Serializers allow for doing serialization. Who is the responsible to serialization? Serializers concept. Serializers are going to take responsibility to do serialization. And deserialization means what? Simple. You are going to convert from JSON or XML data into what actually? Your model instances or query set object references. That is deserialization. Both are, both are. Okay. So I'm telling serialization. I'm giving example only clearly. So I'm going to show you practical implementation. Now I'm going to create my Python query set and model instances. I want to convert this model instances into my Python data types like dictionary. That's what I'm showing one example here clear. I'm going to give one example with practical implementation. Okay. Yes. So for example, Python JSON is there. And most important concept is, most important thing is two methods are there in what we can say serialization concept. One is dumps method is there, dumps dumps method, and next one is loads method is there. In that serialization and deserialization concept, what are there actually? Dumps method is there, as well as what actually loads method is there. So what is the use of dumps method? This method is used to convert Python object into JSON. Okay, this method is used to convert convert Python object into what actually JSON. Dumps method is used, and loads method is used for what actually? This is used to convert JSON into Python object. Simple. This is used to convert 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 JSON JavaScript object notation JSON into Python object. Python object means dictionary or any data structure like this. These two methods are involved in here. Dumps method, it is used to convert Python object into JSON. Loads method, it is used to convert JSON into Python object. These two methods are used. Okay, these two methods are used. Mainly these two methods are used here. So in Django REST framework, serializers are going to take responsible for converting your complex data, that is query set or model instances, into Python native data types. That is called serialization, you can say. And later it can be easily rendered into JSON or XML or other content types, which is understandable by front-end application like HTML or web page. So both serialization and deserialization is going to be happening. Serialization purpose we use dumps. Deserialization purpose we use loads only. Loads method we can say. Okay. For that, Python is having serializer class. We have to prepare a serializer class. In the last session, in my documentation, I have prepared serializer class. Let me show you that documentation quickly once again, so that you will compare that clearly. So serializer class I prepared here in the last session. So this is serializer class, serializers dot py, and what is serializer class here? EMP serializer is there. This is the serializer class. Okay, serializer. DRF Django REST framework provides a serializer class which gives you a powerful way to control the output of your response. Okay, which gives a powerful way to control your response. Who is going to responsible? This serializer class is going to responsible here. Okay, so let's try to create one project here. I'm going to show you clearly step-by-step approach how to do the serialization, and with the class with function based view. Okay, with function based view, let me close this documentation and all. And now I'm going to show you a Python PyCharm editor. Directly, I'm going to open PyCharm editor. There, I'm going to create a Django project with application without passing any commands. In the last session, what I did, I just opened command prompt. There, I have mentioned in command prompt like Django -admin start project name. After that, Python space manage.py start app my app application name I have here. But these all things I don't want to do now. I want to just create what actually PyCharm editor I'm opening now. PyCharm professional editor I'm opening here. Directly I'm opening. There I want to create a new project here. Okay. Yes. There I want to create a new project. Let me open it. Go to search, type PyCharm, and now you can see this is PyCharm professional editor. Just internet. Let's open through here. That is completely app. Get names. Now you can see this is I'm going to. So first I want to create a project along with application. Then after that, that application automatically available in the installed underscore apps. Now you can see this is PyCharm Professional Editor. Please just follow the as is steps what I'm doing here. Same thing in the last session, what I'm doing, same thing I'm doing, but in different approach, completely different approach. And here I'm going to use one concept that is called JSON renderer. Okay, JSON renderer is used to render serialized data into JSON format, which is understandable format of front-end application. For that, we have to use JSON renderer library dot render method of serialized data. Okay, without JSON renderer method also, we can use directly serialize object. Now you can see this is loading project here. This is previous project. Okay. So observe carefully. Without passing any commands in the command prompt, how to create a new project along with application using PyCharm Professional Editor. So look at all of you. So just, and I have already in the last session installed Django REST framework. So no need to install. In case if you don't install, if you have not installed, then go to terminal. Here also you can type pip space install space Django REST framework. Then it will install Django REST framework. Now observe here, I'm going to create a new project here. Okay. Now let's create a new project. So just wait. It is showing updating interpreter version and everything. It's ready. Once it's ready, everything, then we can start creating your project. So step by step, I'm going to show you clearly. Observe carefully. So I'm going to click on file menu here. Okay. First, I'm going to click on file menu, and here click on new project. Simply click on new project. Once you click on new project, now you can see in this PyCharm Professional Editor, you'll be able to get left hand side. There are so many options are available. Python, pure Python project, Django project, Flask, Pyramid, okay, Web2Py. These are all frameworks. And I'm going to select Django project. Now you can see in F drive, I'm selecting Django project 1 only, or else I'm taking Django project 5 p.m. I'm taking. This is my project name. From now onwards, I'm going to use this project only in our sessions. Django project 5 p.m. So now you can see more settings option is there. More settings option, template language, Django template folder is there. Then application name, you can give that. So any application name, you can give this. Suppose I'm giving my app, I'm giving this is. What is my application name is my app. This is my application name. Then click on create. Once you create this window, now it is going to create a new Django project with application. No need to pass commands in command prompt, and later no need to open that project into PyCharm editor. This is another way. Okay, without passing any commands using command prompt. No need to pass any command for creating project. No need to pass any command for creating application under the project. And later no need to open that project into PyCharm editor. Directly you can come to here PyCharm editor, create project with all selecting options using application name also, automatically it installed or it include in settings.py of your Django project file. Okay, so this is Django project creation with application. Now next, what I want to do, I have already installed REST framework, so I have to register this REST framework into settings.py. That things I must and should do because we are creating REST API application. So REST underscore framework we have to install into settings.py. I'll do that immediately. Just wait. It is going to ensuring that whether Django is installed or not, and required libraries are going to be installed here. After finishing this, then I'm going to start my steps. Almost all same previous steps, but coding style is completely different. Previously, I have used in admin.py only normal registration. Now I'm going to show you in admin panel list display registration with a decorator registration. And also in the previous session, I just used class based view. Now here I'm going to use it function based view with a different way. I'm going to show you API creation, and also after API creation, how to use that API data into third-party application like simple Python programming. I will show that. Okay. Yes. So it's project ready. Once your project is ready, then what we need to do, you just go to expand your Django project here and your application also my app. Now you can see settings.py. I'm just going settings.py. In this settings.py, let me choose whether your application name is already there or not. Now you can see, yes, it is going to be take time because once this SDK Python 3.9 is finished, then you will be able to find in the settings.py, this application automatically will come to here only. No need to manually install. Okay, let's check out urls.py of your project. Now it's urls patterns also is available. Okay, this is not required right now. Now you can see here my app dot apps dot my app config automatically there. But along with this, what we need to do immediately, so I'm going to include REST underscore framework. This is compulsory. Okay, REST underscore framework I'm going to include it. So after including this REST underscore framework, then close the settings.py only. Not required for this. Now immediately what I'm trying to do, first I'm going to do models.py. Yes, let's go to models.py of your application. Application name is my app. I'm going to create now employee model. Previously we discussed student model. Now today I'm going to show you employee model here. Model name is employee. Okay, so here models dot model I'm taking model, simple fields I'm taking. Okay, no complex fields. Suppose here I'm taking e name equals to models dot char field I'm taking. Max length is optional, not compulsory required here. E name max length equals to 20. Next, what I'm taking e mail I'm taking, or else e name email. Okay, e address, better to take e address equals to models dot char field of max length equals to 20. Next, email I'm taking equals to no, the serializer file we cannot create. Okay, serializer is compulsory required if you want to work with API, because API is going to be rendered the data in JSON format only. Compulsory, that is. Email models dot char field, yes, max underscore length. So if you don't use serializer, the normal Django application through we can render the data, no? Then what is the need of API here? It's not required. So e-name, e-address, email, only 3 fields I'm taking here. Okay, only 3 fields. Anyway, the ID will create automatically. That ID, default ID will create by Django internally. Okay, so this is model is successfully created. Once model is successfully created, I want to register this model into admin.py. So admin.py is available here, but now we can see how I'm creating admin file in this session. Just compare with the last session how I created. Okay, just I'm taking from my app dot models import. What is your model name? Employee model. In the last session, what I register here, just admin dot register site dot register register of employee. This is only I did in the last session, but I don't want to do this now because the reason is what I have to use a decorator concept. So I'm going to create a model admin here. Okay, model admin means in Django already we discussed. So now you can see employee admin, employee admin. This is model admin class. So now we can see admin dot model admin I'm creating. So now list display is a variable. It is a default variable. How the way you want to display it will decide where it will display your model fields, how it will display into admin panel, it will decide. ID, now here you can see e-name, then e-address. Here what order you mention, this order only it will display in admin panel. Email. Okay, now you can see models, e-name, e-address, e-address. This is e-name, e-address, email. Now you can see e-name, e-address, email. But ID, how? Because Django will create automatically one ID with primary key constant. In admin panel, same way it is going to be appear here. Okay, that is the case. Now you can see I'm going to register with a decorator at the rate of, yes, in Python programming, at the rate symbol with admin. This is decorator registration, register employee module. I'm taking employee module. This is very simple. Now immediately what we need to do, sir? I need to go for make migrations and migrations. Yes, compulsory. So how to do make migrations and migrations? By going to terminal window. Now you can go to make migrations and migrations. Let's try to just wait, and you can see Python space manage.py make migrations. I'm taking Python space manage.py make, oh, no module named REST framework, it is there. Yes, REST framework name is not there here. No problem. Let's remove this REST framework. Where it is there, I have mentioned this is REST underscore framework. Did I install REST framework? Let me check out. Python space, pip install django REST framework. Some error is there. I'm going to rectify that issue. Pip space install space django REST framework. Now we can see it is not installed. That's what here it is showing. No problem. Now next what I'm taking, Python space manage.py make migrations. I'm taking. Now migration successfully done. Okay, once migration successfully done, Python space manage.py migrate. I'm taking migration. When we do, then it will create a table name with employees. After that, I want to create a super user. Python space manage.py create super user, and I'm going to create super user name. It is asking Lenovo. I'm not giving Lenovo. I'm giving only admin. Okay, username. Again, email address I'm leaving. Password I'm taking admin. Password again I'm taking admin. And yes, I'm saying once yes, then you can start server here. Python space manage.py run server I'm taking. Okay, once I run server, let's click on this link. So here server is running successfully, but I have to log in into admin panel. So by using username is admin as well as password is admin. So let's click on login button. Then automatically you can see employees table created under this your application my app. Now there is no employees details, but let me add some employees here. How to add employees? Click on add employees, employee name, MOHAN I'm taking, employee address Hyderabad, employee mail, MOHAN at gmail.com. Suppose here save and another, I'm going to add Durga is employee name, address is again Hyderabad, durga at gmail.com. Okay, let's save, add another. So like this, suppose I'm taking Sai is the employee name, address is SR Nagar, and mail ID is sai at gmail.com. Save, add another. Now you can see Rajesh is the mail employee name, address is HYD, and mail ID is rajesh at gmail.com. So I'm going to save it. Just 4 records are enough, not much more records. Now you can see this ID is also displayed. Now observe here the admin panel details, how it is displayed. Previously just with the name only displayed. Okay, in previous program just with the name only displayed. Let me open my documentation. Okay, in previous program in the admin panel, how I have registered, observe here only admin.site.register of employees something. Okay, but now observe carefully here, whenever we use this one with string ename through, it was displayed. Now this time what will happen, complete details are going to display in admin panel. Observe here in admin panel complete details. How it is possible? Because the in admin.py I have mentioned list display first ID, ename, e-address, email. For example, first email I'm taking, just observe here, I'm taking email here. Last only ID I'm taking. What order I maintain in the list display? Okay, same order it's going to display in the admin panel. Let's refresh. Now you can see what order it is displaying. Server is running, just wait. Server is restarting. Now you can see first email, next ename, next e-address, last ID only there. So who is decide the order of the records? Okay, admin panel will decide in admin.py here. So let me change this ID only because proper order I'm taking. Email I'm taking here, email. This is the case. So this is model admin actually. Model admin is a class. This class we discussed many times in Django. Okay, in Django applications. So employees click on it. Now you can see again server is restarting. Just refresh once. Automatically ID numbers, names, address, email. So our admin panel is ready and everything is ready now. Now I'm going to use serializer class. What class I'm going to use? Serializer class. So to create serializer class, what we need to do? I strongly recommend to create a Python file under your application. What name? With what name? I strongly recommend serializers.py. But name is not compulsory, but better to give the meaningful name here. Serializers.py. In this serializers.py, I'm going to create a serializer class, but serializer class is coming from where? REST framework. So from REST underscore framework, import what I'm taking? Serializers. Just now I told you, serializers allows complex data such as query set or model instance to be converted into native Python data types, that is dictionary, that can be easily rendered into JSON or XML or other content types only. Okay, content types only. So that's what here serializer class is coming from the Django REST framework. So I have already installed REST framework. Now I'm going to create a serializer class here. How to create serializer class? emp serializer. Is this built-in name? No, it is your name. As per your requirement, you can take any name only here. This is serializer class name. Now you can see serializers dot serializer class. Serializers dot serializer class. These two are fixed names. These are built-in names. Okay. Now I'm going to take here id equals to yes, everything I should, every field I want to serializers. Now serializers dot char field, then max length is optional. If you want you can give, otherwise not required here. Max length equals to 20. Okay, next what I'm taking, ename, employee name, serializers dot char field, that is also max length equals to 20. Next what I'm taking, e-address equals to serializers dot char field. So different approach, previous one and this one is different, but same same purpose. Okay, next address email I'm taking. Email equals to serializers dot carfield, serializers dot carfield, or email field also can take. So now this is max length equals 20. So now observe here models ID, ename, address, email. So same thing I'm maintaining into EMP serializer class also, which is inherited from REST framework only. After completion of serializers class, what I need to do, I have to go to views function, views.py. So let's go to views.py here. I'm going to what actually views.py here. So in views.py, what I need to import here? Yes, I have to render this model instances, which is available in admin panel. The data is coming from these all records. I'm going to render into JSON format, which is going to display to the end user. So to do that, what I'm trying to do here, first I want to import my model. So in views.py, how to import model? What is your application name? Is my app.import myapp.models. Import what is your model? Employee model. Okay. Next, from your application, REST framework, okay, sorry, REST, your application name. What is your application name? myapp.serializers import. What is your serializer class? EMP serializer class is there. So from my application serializers.py is there. No, from here what class I'm importing? Serializer, EMP serializer class I'm importing. Then next, what I'm trying to do, from REST framework, REST framework, dot renderers, import JSON render, JSON render, JSON renderer is there. This I'm going to use. And next, from Django dot http import http response also I'm going to use. Import http response. These things I'm going to use in my view. So previous project and this project difference is I'm using REST underscore framework dot renderers import JSON renderer. So what is the use of JSON renderer class here? Okay, JSON renderer class. So JSON renderer is used to render serialized data into JSON, which is understandable by front end only. That's what I'm using JSON renderer class only in my program. Okay, so JSON renderer method dot render of serialized data, that I'm going to use. So let's try to go through this views.py completely. So I am going to create here function based view. What view I'm creating? Function based view. So function based view, how we can recognize? Because of df keyword I'm using here. Observe here, I'm not using class, I'm using df keyword. So I'm taking here emp, my function based view name emp underscore details. Emp underscore details is my function based view, and request object is common in the function based view. You people know that. Now we can see here emp is my query set object. So employee is my model dot objects dot what I'm taking, get of id equals to 1. Particular id I want to render first. Particular id I want to render. Then later we will show you how to render all objects also, no problem. Particular id equal to 1. Okay. Now here I am taking serializer. It is your own name, you can take serializer. What class is there here? emp serializer. I'm going to pass what actually emp query set object. This serializer class is going to be convert this query set complex data into JSON format, that is serializer. Okay, serializer, but JSON data format I want to convert this serializer. How to do that? Who will do that? JSON renderer. Okay, so I'm going to use here JSON underscore data equals to here. So JSON renderer method is there, dot render of what data? Serializer dot data. This is serializer dot data. Data is a variable, built-in variable. Then automatically this JSON renderer dot render serializer data will be convert, and it will store into JSON underscore data only. This data I want to response where? As a HTTP response. This data, how I can response? So now we can say return HTTP response. What I want to respond? JSON data I'm going to response, comma, content type is required compulsory. Content underscore type. What content type here? This is JSON content type. So this is compulsory application, that is API slash JSON we have to use here. Application slash JSON. This is content type. So that's all. Okay, I'm going to execute this by creating URLs now. How to execute by creating URLs? Just go to urls.py. Yes, I'm going to urls.py, and in this URLs also I'm going to import your application from my app import views. Simple. From my app import views. So let me give the path here, clear path I'm giving. So what path I'm giving here? You can see path of emp I'm giving slash emp slash. Then what I'm taking? Views dot. What is your view name? What is your view name? Look at here, views dot py. Emp underscore details is my view name. So views dot emp underscore details is my view name. This is function based view. It is not a class based view. That's all. Let's start server here. But now you can see I'm going to start server, and after server now you can see emp I'm giving my name. What data is coming? Just observe here. What data is coming? ID equals to 1, ename equals to Mohan, address equals to HYD, email equal to mohan@gmail.com. Why it is coming only one object data is rendered into JSON format? Because in the views I have given clearly get ID equals to 1. If I change here ID equals to 2, then after that when we go to browser and immediately refresh this one, now you can see ID number 2 record is coming. Understand? This is the case. But suppose here what I'm trying to do in this case, okay, what I'm trying to do in this case. So ID number 2, ID number here I'm going to giving ID number 2, ID number 1. But directly every time you need not to go back to code, and here we need not to go, we need not to change here. That's what I will do here. I am going to do PK. PK means primary key, you know very well. And this PK I'm going to pass here also as a variable. And you can go to URL sending request time. What I need to do, this PK we have to supply in the URL case only. How we can supply this PK in the URL case? This is what the case. Here I'm taking just URL slash int colon PK, then close it. Once if we use this int colon PK means while giving URL slash which ID record you want, that ID record it is asking here. Okay, that ID record. Let's go to here. Now let's try to emp, then you will see page not found, because it is expecting ID number 1 here. PK emp slash 1, then ID number 1 record is coming. Emp slash 2, then ID number 2 record is coming. Emp slash 3, then ID number 3 is coming. So whenever I'm going to hit this request, immediately it will go to urls.py. PK will store in the ID number 1 means this will store in this PK variable, and views.emp details it will call. It will go to views.py, and here this PK variable value will be stored ID number 1. That one will be sent in a response, HTTP response. JSON data only will be response to this is. Okay, this is the case actually here. Now I want to show you what's there in this what we can say, what's there in this views.py. I'm going to show in views.py what is there here. What is emp? Emp is a query set. This is emp is a query set. I want to print here emp. Emp is a what? Actually query set object emp. And what is serializer? Also if you want you can try to print serializer here, serializer. And what is, you want to print JSON data also, just print JSON data here. This is all because of just showing in the terminal window how it is, what is this exactly. Okay, so let's refresh the server, and I'm going to execute again. Just refresh this server. Now you can see, go to terminal window. Now observe here, this is what actually query set object number 3. This is query set object number 3. Print emp is query set object only. This is emp object 3 only, query set object, that is. Print serializer means what? This is serializer class is coming. What is serializer class? What we have written in serializer class, this serializers.py, same class is going to display here only. Next, JSON data is available. You can see JSON data. Where is JSON data? Here in views, JSON data. Print JSON. What is this JSON data? Here, this is JSON data only. Okay, just for showing you. but this is not required. I'm just giving comment section all these things. If you want, you can able to print and check out in the terminal window clearly. Okay, I'm going to use this JSON data into my what we can say object case. But here observe carefully, sir, one record only I'm going to get here. One record only I'm getting, but all records I want to get. How to get all records? Yes, we can get all records by simply what we need to say, just to go to same, and automatically one more view we can create. One more view. Yes, I'm going to create one more view. Just copy this total thing. Now copy this and place into here, and I'm going to use get. I'm not going to use here objects dot all method. I'm using all method. I'm using here. PK is not required, and this also not required. This also not required. This also not required. And now we can say I'm going to take emp underscore all underscore details. Emp all details. This is my view name is different because all details I want, but because I'm giving all. But observe carefully here in the last session also in the serializer class, whenever I'm passing here, okay, serializer class, then many equal to true is required here, compulsory. Many equals to true. Why? Because all objects here, not only one object. That's what many equal to true. So whenever I'm going to give this path, so in the URL section, observe here, whenever I'm going to give this path, emp all details, copy this, and in the URL section, go to here path I'm going to mention. Now you can see here I'm going to change emp all. I'm giving emp all means all records will come. Okay, only one record means if you go this one, this URL, all records means you can go this. Views are different. Two views are there, function based views. Then this view I'm creating emp all details, then comma. Now whenever we hit the server, observe here I'm going to restart the server freshly. So how to restart the server? Go to terminal window and control C we have to say, control C, or else already it is started. Let's start, click on this. Now you can see here emp all means all records you will get. All records. How many records? Total 4 records are there. All records are getting here. And otherwise you can go for emp slash 1 means only one record. This is one view and that is another view. Two views are executing here. You can see this. What? How many views are executing, sir? Two views are executing. So whenever I'm going to hit this emp, this is URLs. Emp slash ID number 1 means this view is going to be execute. Emp underscore details. Emp all means this view is going to execute. So the two views I have written here. This view is only particular record, which ID you want. This view is for all records. By using all function, I'm using many equal to true with serializer class. This is the case exactly here. Understand? So it is very simple way to handle this. This is the case. And next to what I want to do, this is your application. Okay, this is your APIs. API means what here? This is only API. What I have written here, this is your API. This API I want to use in my other application. Let me copy this API. I want to use in my other application. Other application means that application can be, let me log out. This is admin panel, not required now. Other application means that can be a Python application, that can be a any application, okay, Java application or mobile application or any application. From that application, when the request is sending like this URL can hit and immediately they will access one record with their application. So that's what I'm saying. API, Django REST API purpose is application to application interaction. Here I have created one API. That API I'm going to use in my application. That application through I'm going to get. So how to use this one? Let me go to Python file here. So let me create one Python file here under this application. So under this application or any project also, for example, under this project only I'm going to create. Anywhere you can create, no issues at all. Wherever you want, you can create. Just normal Python file I'm preparing here. What file I'm creating? Python file I'm preparing here. So what file is required to create? Where we have to create? Under the application, I'm just creating a my app, and now you can see in Python file I'm creating what file? Test.py. I'm creating test.py. In this test.py file, what I'm writing here, import requests, import request. Oh, request, that is request, import request. Oh, request is not there. Import request. So I think it's requests. Let me go for just give me 1 second. I think it is not there. No module name request. Let me go for how I can able to access this test.py. That is not request. Request is not request. That is only. Import request. Yes, this is. If not, I'll try to include that. I think a request will not be there. No capital R. I know that. Just let me quickly. Yes, this I have to install it quickly. I'm just checking because there is no module called request. This module is required compulsory, sir, because we are requesting the data from API into your normal Python file, that is test.py file. Okay, yes. Now I can see package request installed successfully, no matter it is. So I have installed successfully, no matter it is. Then now configured interpreter, just I'm making it is complete interpreter, show all, and this is I'm making clear. That's all. Okay, so now you can see request is successfully added. So don't worry about whenever you have not found any module, no worries at all. Okay, request is a package that I have installed clearly by going to same in our Django Python, whatever I discussed how to include library additional here. Okay, then here I'm taking URL equals to what URL I'm taking here, this URL, whichever I have copied, my API is available here only, no? So let me copy this URL and place into here only. Okay, http://127.0.0.1:8000 port number, emp is my API name /1. Okay, yes, and R value I'm taking, R result value I'm taking, R equals to request dot get URL equals to, what is that? Capital URL I'm passing. URL equals to URL means this URL through we are getting the data. Okay, now I want to store the data here. What data here? EMP data. EMP underscore data equals to, this is what data? Python data, which is coming from what data? JSON data, which is coming from where? JSON. Yes, your API data is always JSON only. R.JSON format I'm taking. R.JSON. Okay, then print your data. What data? EMP data I'm printing. EMP underscore data. So I am going to run this test.py file. Okay, I'm going to run this test.py file where I have to run in this command prompt only, or else go to command prompt. In this terminal only I'm going to run. How to run this? Let me go with this. Okay, yes. So here it is waiting and I'm not able to enter into this terminal. So let's go to terminal window. Now just wait. Now you can see I'm going to run test.py here. So Django project 5 p.m. But my test.py is available in my app only. So let me go to cd space my app. Okay, after that here Python space how to run Python file test.py. Then whenever you run test.py, what data we got, sir? Here ID number 1. Why? How we got ID number 1 record, sir? Because that API address is this is URL address is this is. So your API data can be used in Python application, that is test.py. So we are requesting what, from where you are requesting? From your Django application. My Django application is having what actually views function. What is that views function? This view only, EMP. This view is calling because particular ID. This view is coming from where? Here only. So this view, okay, let me, why it is showing underline red mark? Okay, no problem at all. So this view test.py through we are getting here. This is test.py through we are getting. So we are requesting the API data from where Django application to where test.py normal Python application. So application to application interaction purpose. My data is coming from database. So just observe here. I am requesting here. From where I am requesting test.py. Look at here. Test.py is my Python application. Okay. From this Python application, I'm requesting the data. I'm requesting the data. For this testing, we can do Postman software also, no problem at all. I'm not going to do, but just that is also useful. But again, I have to give some introduction to Postman also. That's not required. Just I'm showing manually here. Okay. Test.py file is there. This is my Python file. Okay. This is my Python file. Test.py. From here, we are requesting. What we are requesting? Request.get URL equal to URL. So this is API. So I'm giving request to API. This API will collect the data from where? Django application. So this is API. Okay, this is API. Let's go to here, and this is API. And this API is going to collect what? Django application only. Django application. Django application, what is there? View emp/1. So it will go to Django application in views in urls.py. Now you can see emp/view is there. What view is going to happen? emp_details. What is that? emp_details view is there or not? This view is going to work out. So this is what actually application to application. This is my Python application, and this is my API, and this is my Django application. So the application to application is going to interact with the DRF concept, Django REST framework. And this application can be of any application. Here I'm using, as per my requirement, just I'm using Python application only, but you can use in your Android application or Java application. You can send a request to this API. API will go and collect the data from Django application and will give the response to this application, and this application will give to response to test.py. So this is the case actually here. Okay. So this process also, in this process also, we can able to use clearly here. Okay. So here, and now observe here, just observe here. I'm not going to be JSON render data is there, but I'm giving HTTP response only. This is the request. REST underscore framework renderers import JSON render. But why it is showing underline mark? Because we are not sending this JSON response to HTTP response. In other application we are sending. Okay. So these two ways we can able to use. In just compare with the previous example and this example so that you will understand clearly. Here I'm using completely function based views. There I have used class based views, and also here I used completely admin.py registration is completely different with the decorator concept with the list display. There I have used normal way, and URLs also here I'm using clearly with particular ID, and all records we are going to converting into JSON format. So remaining process, same process is there. This process also I'm going to give you in the clear documentation, but I'll prepare clear documentation and I'll send the documentation to you people after session completion. And for your kind information, and your next session will be on Monday. Okay, so tomorrow and day after tomorrow I'll not be available. Only for REST API classes will not be there. Next session will be on Monday, and next week onwards, Monday to Saturday, classes will be happen regularly. And yes, I hope you are receiving all my REST API videos and material. Please try to download REST API videos also once you receive that. Don't be delay in downloading process. Once if you delay in downloading process, then again your videos may not available in further. Please download it, and please keep that videos numbering wise in your folder, so you can able to lifetime watch these videos for further practice. Okay, so that's all about.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Sorry to
yeah.
interrupt you, sir. Sir, Raj this side. Actually, I did not receive the link. So today, will you provide me
What
for
link?
the material? Sir, link
Yeah,
for the
yeah, yeah.
videos and the.
See, the thing is, just wait. I have received your mail ID today only. Is this your mail ID? Just check it once.
So last one, it's mine.
Yeah, that is. This is only. Yeah, yeah. I have
Yes, sir.
already sent to this. And Pramod, you can confirm from DurgaSoft. I have not confirmed from your end, pramod.bg. That's what I have not
Oh,
sent the
okay,
video.
okay. Will do.
You can ask them to confirm me so that I'll send it. And today I'll send Mr. Raj. You will receive all four videos and 4 documentations.
Okay,
And
sir.
next
Okay.
coming Monday onwards, I will give you a new link, that is short link. This link will not work for Monday session onwards. Please try to check your mail before going to join Monday session. I'll give new link. That link continuously will work for 15 days, next 15 days. That is a short link only.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Yes. And Pramod, once you just ask them to give the confirmation to me so that I'll share the videos and material. Okay, that's not my in hand,
Okay, sir.
so
Sure.
try to understand that. Yeah,
Sure,
sure.
sure. I'll do that.
Yeah. See you
Thank
on
you.
Monday.